very good evening, everybody. This is Gulf Harbour Radio, ZMH 286, Patricia and David. I'm just in shock here because I'm looking out my window from the radio room and I can actually see at least a kilometre, whereas looking out the other side, all I can see is rain and clouds. So it has been that sort of day here today, lots and lots of rain. And the only good thing about that is it's filling the dams, and maybe our power won't be so expensive over winter if they know that they can get us through the winter. But yes, it's just been one of those days. It's actually 18 degrees, which is really, really strange because at 5 o'clock I looked and it said 17 degrees. How could it possibly gain a degree? Well, we've got the fire on. Maybe the smoke is going near the temperature dial on the roof. Anyway, it's 17 or 18 degrees, which is rather good. The wind, such as it is coming from the northeast. We always like it like that, 3 to 5 knots. But the barometer is plunging 1010. And of course, we've got a stationary front right on top of us, another front, quasi-stationary front coming, and a series of lows to the west-southwest. So it's not going to be very good here for a while, and I can understand why a couple of boats are looking at leaving. Good evening to Matalock if you're listening from down the road. I had to look up where the Cracker Marina was. That was a new one from me. Well, it's in the newish sort of West Haven, you know, where the commercial part is, that sort of little marina in there. So it's got a new name that certainly wasn't familiar to us. Anyway, and there's probably a few people up at Marsden that are looking at the next window too. But we've got a couple of boats who are just about to arrive in, less than 24 hours. We've got the difficult part of the navigation into Savu. And we've got Nancy Clare and Silhouette heading north. And Colfie, of course, may not be on because he's going through the Navula Passage coming south. Probably best that he's not on the radio listening to the weather that we've got. Just a short bit of news from Los Angeles, which is changing by the minute, of course. There are now 700 Marines about to arrive to join the 4,500 National Guard members and the police who are trying to get some order in the chaos with the riots against the immigration system. In Los Angeles. It's really going to be very difficult for the Marines because they evidently have rules of engagement because it's going to be very difficult with the possibility of their having to use force against US citizens on US soil. So how they can work out what they can do and what they can't do, God only knows. They are not allowed to use warning shots. That's prohibited, and they can use force in self-defense, but basically they're there to protect federal property and personnel, which is actually what the National Guard were meant to be doing. So we'll wait and see what happens there, but it's all getting very, very disturbed, and a lot of insults flying from the White House to, what's his name? Governor Newsom in California. So you're much better off out there. Despite what the weather might be doing to you at the moment, you can enjoy peace and tranquility. Right, let's go to Arca, Gulf Harbour. Yep, good copy from you again. It's been really good copy pretty much most of the way. So go ahead, Ed.
Okay, that finds me at 1755 south. 17904 east, steering a course of 0142 at 4.8 knots. The wind is easterly at 12 to 14, just came back. I'm coming out from the lee of Bow Island, and I'm about 8 miles away from that gap between Matuku and Wakaya, so that'll be interesting tonight. The swells are one way, and then start to come back again from the lee. It's 50% cloud cover. Our group area looks clear, but this turns weather with all high over.
Yep, okay. Yeah, I just had a text from Colfie to say that they had 50% cloud cover, but that's quite a different area from yours. 1755 south, 17904 east for Aka heading up towards Savu Savu overnight. 014 true at 4.8 knots with an east 12 to 14 and 50% cloud cover, and you'll need to have your wits about you overnight. So good luck on that one, Ed. Over.
Yeah, Roger, it's about a 6 mile piece. I got to do a little bit of pinching to get, to lay the other side. But then it's clear all the way to Savu Savu, so I should be there tomorrow morning sometime. After I get through here, it's 55 miles to run.
Yep, it's certainly smelling the barn time. So good for you two. And yes, it's evidently a lovely marina to check into there now, Nawi. So I'm sure you'll know a lot of people there and will enjoy a good rest for at least 24 hours. Okay, thanks, Ed. Hi to Fran. We'll clear with you, and Scoots is not too far away. Scoots, Gulf Harbour.
Good copy on you. Hey, copy me, over.
Yeah, it's good copy. This is a good distance, isn't it? Go ahead, Daryl.
Yeah, hi, David Fisher. Our position 1804 south, 17935 east. That's course of 347 true. It's 7 decimal 5 knots. We've got a southeast wind of 15 knots, 10% cloud cover, and 1014 on the bar. We've had a beautiful day, sailing all day, over.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, and looks like if that holds from what you and Ed have said, it will be a good night. And good that you've got the crew there. I bet all of you are anxious to get a cold one at the end. 1804 south, 17935 east. Going to be joining Aka for clearance tomorrow at Savu Savu. Current course 347 true, 7.5 knots, southeast 15 with 10% cloud cover and 1014. So you'll be pleased to get there. Over.
Yeah, that's been a good trip overall, and have enjoyed the time at Minerva, but always looking forward to getting in, and we should be in the early hours of the morning, and we'll just anchor out the entrance until for daybreak, over.
Yep, well, you might as well just take it slow and easy, and nothing to rush for, is there? When is Carol going to come and join you, or is she still enjoying the grandmother ship? Over.
Yes, she's enjoying the grandmother duties, but flying up to join us mid next week. So looking forward to having her back on board and getting up next story.
Yeah, she'll be pleased to get away from this weather. Boy, it's going to be snarly again tomorrow too. So yes, I'm sure she'll be pleased to get away from it. All right, we'll clear with you, and you guys have a good, safe night and a good entry tomorrow. Okay, we'll see if I can find Nancy Clare, Gulf Harbour Radio. Well, Nancy Clare is responding, but boy, I'm not getting anything down here. Did anybody copy Nancy Clare? Please come back. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, there's definitely some problem with maybe ground plane or whatever, but yep, Nancy Clare, based on their, I'm just going to give you their position, which was 48 minutes ago, is 28 degrees 23 south, 17640 east, and they have a course of 053 because of the headwinds I've been watching all day. They're tacking to and fro, 5.5 knots. So it's very peaceful. Headwinds by looks like about 10 knots, but we'll check with Silhouette shortly. So yeah, Nancy Clare, if you're listening, as you sound as if you are, you're just not getting any power out. So there's something amiss there. because a nearby boat is, well, closer than we are anyway, knows you're there and knows you're responding, but there's just no oomph in it. So something to do when you arrive, put it at the top of the list. All right, we'll clear with you and go to Silhouette, Gulf Harbour Radio.
Gulf Harbour Radio, Silhouette, I'll copy.
Yep, good copy from you, Phil, and you're not that far from Nancy Clare, so hopefully they'll be able to sort something out once they arrive. Go ahead, where are you?
Okay, position 2918 South, 177, 43 East, course 05, correction, course 075 true, speed 6.4 knots, wind is north-northeast at 11 knots, Barrow is 1020, sea stayed less than 1 meter, top cover 90% over.
Okay, we have Silhouette at 2918 South, 17743 East, 075 true at 6.4, north-northeast 11, 1020, less than a metre swell and 90% cloud cover. And I keep meaning to say thank you, all you guys that are on tonight, for giving me the 075 true, for example, because sometimes when conditions are not very good and you drop that off, or some boats have dropped that off, it's very difficult to know what the next digit should be. So it's good that you use the 0. Okay, any comments from you, David, with that, or are you going to just wait for the round? You'll cover it in a moment. Okay, it sounds good, Phil. And were you able to sail all day over?
That's a big negative. I motored all day since last night over.
Yeah, I was wondering since last night. Oh, goodness gracious. So would you be interested to see what's going on? It might, we'll wait and talk to David. I was going to make a comment, but he'd wrap me over the knuckles because my job's the radio, not the weather.
I would.
All right, stand by and we'll see what he comes up with. And as I mentioned, Colfie is going through the Navula Passage. I'll just give a call in case they have got someone by the radio. Colfie, Gulf Harbour. No, he said he wouldn't be probably on concentrating. So I'm going to, I will give a call later for any boats that might be joining us from further east or whatever, but we'll go to the weather man first. Here's David.
Okay, good evening on this, it's windy, it's rainy.
It's not really windy.
It's not nice at all. Anyway, I'll start with a quick look at weather conditions in the Southwest Pacific. This is the last part of the MJO pulse that we've been talking about, and it's reflected by plenty of convective activity around 15 south, as it has been for the last week. An active trough runs from the Solomons down to Vanuatu, where Barney is, ocean fever thing, and it splits there. It turns into 2 troughs. One runs to Rotuma, then just to the north of Fiji. Fiji is still very, very nice, good weather in Fiji. But then the trough runs on to Wallis, Futuna, then Samoa, and then onward to the southern Cooks. The other branch runs southward to New Zealand. Actually, it's the other way around. It runs from New Zealand north to join up with the main trough. To the west of this trough is a cold front from New Zealand to just to the west of New Caledonia. The clouds do merge from these two systems, as does the rain and the thunderstorms, etc., etc. Not nice weather up there. Next, we have the main player, our nice high, and that's centered at lunch today roughly 25 south, 25 south, and 170 west, 170 degrees west. Lovely, lovely weather in the Minervas. East winds there with, weak gusts to maybe 15 knots at times. And we should have the actual conditions
Surely.
from Andy. I don't think he called in Andy yet, but I think we'll hear from him in a few minutes. He's snug at anchor in North Minerva. Now, the 991 depression in the Tasman, that's pushing very hard into our high that I just described. And that's causing the isobars to compress and run sort of north-south. Thus, the winds are going to be on the nose for those boats on run line from New Zealand to 30 south, and for that matter, even a little bit further to the north. Yachts that are around 20 south near Fiji should have easterly quadrant winds, about 10, maybe up to 18 knots with scattered cloud. And those of you at 30 south, I'm jumping around here, those of you at 30 south or thereabouts should have northerly quadrant winds that get up to about 20 knots. The reports we're getting, the winds are less than that, which is good, but the models are calling off a little bit more wind than that. Plenty of cloud and just a few high buildups. There's a lot of lower strato Q, a little bit higher alto Q, but we do see a few buildups. So there could be some squalls, depending upon where you happen to be. Not very many of them. I'm looking at satellite imagery, which is just a few minutes old at the moment. So that is the story for the Southwest Pacific. And with that, here is the chief.
Well, you didn't say what silhouette was going to look at, because I don't think you'd be very keen to hear. So according to my GFS, you're going to have those headwinds even stronger for the next few days, but you might have to do some tacking.
Yeah, I talked about 30 south.
I suppose 30 south, yes. That's close enough, isn't it?
For government work.
Yes, certainly for government work. So, you might as well, just maybe heave to and do some fishing or reading or something like that. Anyway, let's see what the weather is like in North Minerva. Soy Libre, according to my AIS, you're the only one there. Are you on frequency, Andy?
Yes, I am. It's not possible. Therefore, we have a boat here. There's reflecting back on my voice, and I feel lucky to actually have had a 6 year cruise.
Well, unfortunately, we'll have to get you to check whether I can copy you because I did not get any of that. It's back to that significant distortion, Andy. So not sure what's going on there. I know you've got everything new, but there is some problem there that I don't know really what to recommend, but it's very distorted, and all I got, I think it's 8 knots from the east, which would make sense. at North Minerva at the moment, and 4 total boats. But boy, I'm not sure what the rest of it was all about. So have a play tomorrow and see what you can do, or have a play now and get back to me before we finish. Okay, is there anybody else?
You say they're off frequency?
Yeah,
or...
well, I don't think he is off frequency because he's very close. I mean, I can work out the odd word, it's just that distortion with it. Anyway, is there anybody else wanting to join us? Please call.
Is this any better?
Yes, it is, because I could hear, is this any better? What did you do?
I don't know. The tune is really weird because I tuned it and then I waited for your broadcast and then it was out of tune and then I tuned it again just now and it's just like it won't do much. I don't know what's going on. Anyhow, I was reflecting on how, on my crossing, I don't feel lucky to have that low come through because, you could hit 2 per day, and then we had a second load, backside of a load, to push it along.
Yep, it's quite useful, that, isn't it? We went from Napier to Bora Bora on the back side of a low, and it wouldn't exactly say it was the smoothest trip we'd ever done, but boy, it was a fast one for our boat. So it's really quite useful to get those, especially when you're trying to get from west to east, to make use of that, because you do get at least wind in the right direction.
17 days.
18 days. David says 17, but I think it was just on 18 days that we did that trip, which for our old girl was pretty good. Anyway, and we had a bit of excitement at the same time. So there's still a bit of distortion there, so I'm not sure why, because you've got an automatic tuner, I'm not sure why it would be changing like that.
Change the connection to
yes,
the tuner.
It's maybe a connection problem, so just have a look at that. Okay, I won't attempt another contact with Soy Libre, who is enjoying the weather at South Minerva. Is there anybody else?
Ocean Fever, howdy.
I've got 2 people there. Ocean Fever, good evening, Barney. Have you got any ideas as to what Andy should be doing with his radio, over?
I think he backs his power down. Andy, back your power way down. Try that. Good signal. But anyway, conditions at Port Vila, light winds out of the east and rain showers and cool, about 28 degrees here. Good job, David. Thanks for the weather.
He's laughing with the cool 28 degrees. We've got the fire on here, and I think even the cool 28 might be a bit much for David, but light easterly winds in Port Vila and rain showers. Actually, wouldn't mind popping back to Port Vila and seeing how they're recuperating from the earthquake, etc., etc. I suppose it's a little bit slow to get organised, but I presume that rebuilding and sealing of pavements and things is all underway and maybe finished, over.
Well, I'm not sure about that. Things happen slow, but I know you really like the place, and the people are sweet and happy and simple. So they're hacking and all, but anyway, things are moving slow, but happy to be out. I've moved up right up to the city here. The filling station's gone, and lots of things aren't open, but it's slowly recovering. But Andrew, try to turn the power back about halfway and give us a try. Can you hear me? This is Bolton Barney on Ocean Fever, Port Vila, in Vanuatu, over.
Yeah, how's this? Is this better?
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. That's all you need. Go ahead, Patricia.
Yeah, it is much better, Andy. It's and still very strong when conditions are good as they are tonight. You certainly don't need that power, and you don't need to be using all that oomph anyway. So I'll get back to you in a minute. I'll just see it. It might have been you come back, but was there another boat in behind Barney? Over.
Silhouette.
Oh, Phil, Silhouette. Yeah, very strong signal from you. So conditions are very good tonight. Go ahead, Phil.
Yeah, question for Dave. I had all day today a counter current from the north about 1.5 to 2 knots. I downloaded the grid for RTOFS, but they do not show that current. Is there a better way to get current? Over.
Aha, yeah, that might be a question for tomorrow night because I think might have to have a look at that. Your counter current at the moment, could you just repeat what you're actually experiencing? Over.
From the north, about 1 knot to 1.5 knots at the moment. Over.
Wow, that's quite a lot, isn't it? 1 to 1.5 knots. Okay.
He's at 29.
He's at Silhouette's at 29 and 177 east. So he's just having a look at the moment, and he will tell you what he's actually looking at when I pass the microphone, because he's hunched over his computer at the moment. Yeah, that's a bit annoying, particularly when the wind is coming from the north. So I'll just stand by.
Okay, Phil. Howdy. I am doing my best to look at the current where you are, and it's very interesting. I'm looking at 2948 south, 2948. You're at 2918, I think. And that current should be, for what I can see, pretty much west, maybe west by northwest, but mostly west. But now just south of that location, 2948, so in other words closer to 30, there are the current splits. It goes in one area a little bit to the west of where you are. It goes south from north to south, and in another area it's going northwest to southeast, but very, very light. I don't think your instruments would really pick it up. So that's what I'm seeing on current. Over.
Okay, are you looking at, which model are you looking at, or is it something I can get from Grips? Over.
Yeah, you can get it. You have Windy, do you not? Over.
No, it's
Yes,
Grips.
I can Sailbox as well. Over.
All right, so if on Windy, just pick the current dot, or whatever you want to call it. Just click on that, and that is what I'm looking at. Over.
Roger, when I turn on the internet, I will look at Windy. I was just using Sailbox and the RTOFS
Yeah, roger that. Now, I am trying to find out what Windy is using there. Hang on. The only thing it says here, it's got quite a bit of data on that, but the provider is Copernicus. Copernicus. Over.
Say again.
Did you copy? Over.
Yep, you did.
Oh, okay. You became quite light there for a minute. Yeah. So that's it. That's what I'm looking at now. What are you experiencing? Over.
I've told you what he's experienced. 1 to 1.5 from the north.
Yeah, Roger. Patricia has told me you said that. So sorry to make you say it again. Yeah, well, from the north. Yes, well, there you go. If that's what you're experiencing, then obviously the model is not doing it. Now, how they're actually getting this information, I'll have to look at this and get back to you tomorrow. That's all I can say at the moment. It would just be guesswork at this point. So I'll look into how they are getting this data and how old it's supposed to be, and we'll see. We'll see. So with that, I'll pass it back to the chief.
Yeah, boy, currents are really tricky, aren't they? Because they just change, and they always, it's very rare that you get them going to help you, particularly when you're coming back to New Zealand. Okay.
Well, they are going to the
Well,
north.
they are going to the north somewhere. Oh, that'll give them something to do for the next while. So who knows what he'll come up with tomorrow. But interesting. All right. Well, good luck fishing tonight, Scoots and maybe Arca. Scoots unfortunately lost one today with the fish chewing through the line. So, but we always found that we were going up through the islands there that the fish were plentiful, and so keep the lines in the water even though it might be dark, because sometimes when we've forgotten to bring in the line, we get a fish. So they might be hungry at night time and can smell it. All right, have a good one, everybody. I'll just do one final call. Is there anybody else? No, nothing heard. So we're clear. David will be sitting here looking at currents. I'm going back to sit in front of the fire, and we will be back again tomorrow. Cheers, everybody. Oh, no, he wants the microphone again. Stand by.
Right, Phil, if you do get on the internet and you manage to get what I'm talking about, Copernicus does explain a little bit more. There's quite a bit of written data that they put down on their program. They call it the Copernicus program, which is an EU program managed by the European Commission, not the model, not ECMWF, but EC. So it's got more information, but we'll talk more tomorrow. But anyway, if you take a look at that, then you'll know as much as I do. Over.
Okay, you might have gone. Cheers, everybody. This is Gulf Harbour Radio. Really, really clear.
Good job, T&T.
Enjoy that cool weather, Barney.
Yeah, thanks, Barney. And I'll tell you what, I'm looking at satellite imagery, or at least I was a minute ago. And by George, you had a absolute humongous cloud cluster that passed through. Well, may have passed just to the south of you. I don't know, but this thing covered about 3 degrees in distance, about 180 miles of huge cumulonimbus clouds. And I've never seen anything like that except in tropical cyclones, which it's not. But I don't know if it went over you or not. This would have been maybe early this morning or yesterday. I don't know. Did you get a huge amount of rain, lightning, thunder, et cetera, Over?
Yeah, no lightning, but filled up my water tank, that's for sure, David. Cheers.
Oh, well, that's all that counts. Okay. All right. Thanks for that then, Barney. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
And I just want to check with Soy Libre just to make sure that we are definitely getting a better signal. Are you still there, Andy?
Yeah. How we doing?
Oh, yeah, that's better without the distortion. That's good. All right, just didn't want to leave it unless we were convinced that was the cure. Have a good night there. Did you get out on the reef at all today?
I used to run it about 80 or 90 watts, and
Yeah, well, your fade is down on me. Try a bit more power and tell me how much power, because that went so light I couldn't copy. Try a bit more power. Over.
Okay, I'm going from 50 watts from, hang on a sec. Okay, that's 60 watts. That's 60 watts there. 1, 2, 3, that's 4, 6, 7.
Yeah, it's still a bit light, but I can do it with the full volume. So maybe just